The deep blacks in an Italian espresso and in monochrome photography are some of the greatest joys in life, right? But does it really make a difference if I shoot in color and convert to black and white later, or if I use a black and white film simulation directly on my Fuji, Ricoh or Sony digital camera? Well, yes, it does, and I'll explain why. But first, let me share how I got into this topic, why I think it's so important to decide upfront whether to shoot in color or black and white, and why you should try black and white street photography. I've always been the kind of photographer people recognize by my use of color and style, deep contrasts and tones that lean toward the look of classic color films like Kodachrome. Yes, I also used Fuji film simulations like classic chrome, like an addict. For a long time I took being consistent as a compliment, but over time I realized it was holding me back. I felt people expected me to stick to that one style. So I started experimenting. I tried long exposures, night photography, and even dusted off my old analog cameras. But somehow I kept coming back to black and white every time. Especially after becoming a dad to twins, I found myself wanting to focus on, well, what really matters in life and photography. I wanted to feel motivated to shoot regularly, even if I only had 30 minutes to spare. And for that, black and white is perfect. It simplifies things and honestly makes me a better, happier photographer. In this video, I'll share exactly how black and white photography can help you focus, the settings I use, and the small Lightroom edits that let your black and white photos stand out. Oh, and I'll show you my 3 favorite black and white photography books of all time. So let's dive in. Colors can be inspiring, but they also can be distracting. Imagine this: you are waiting with your camera in front of a light patch with a beautiful texture like this here. You want somebody to walk toward it, to have the silhouette framed in front of this light patch. Now, like it is the case far too often, you're waiting and nobody shows up. Only an elderly lady in the background. Now in color the light patch is too distracting, which makes the lady in the background not really clearly visible. But in black and white this distraction is gone. If you would have photographed in black and white only from the start, you may have considered the possibility of someone walking in the background earlier and made a more striking overall composition. Maybe like this here. In this case, I cared too much about the bright colored light patch and not about light and framing. Often we get so caught up in the colors that we miss more important elements, expressions, body language, or the overall mood of the scene. When you shoot in black and white, faces, emotions, shapes and textures take center stage. Without color, you're forced to get more creative with your composition, using framing, contrast or light to make your photo really stand out. It's like being handed a smaller menu at a restaurant. If you only have 10 wines to choose from instead of 100 drinks, you'll make a quicker, more confident decision. Over the past few months I've been shooting with older cameras like the Canon XS70 or the Nikon J1. What I've noticed is that their dynamic range struggles with color photos. And yes, even today's cheaper smartphones outperform them. But it's a completely different story with black and white profiles. The higher contrast of black and white images naturally gives them a timeless aesthetic quality. With just a few tweaks in Lightroom, you can get results that come surprisingly close to a camera like the Leica Q3 monochrome. Yes, I know what you're thinking right now, but I think that's true at least if you just view the photos on a smaller screen. And here's the thing, these older cameras cost around 100 to 200 euro. The money you save could fund a perfect photo trip to a place that's perfect for black and white photography. Take Palermo for example. Its moody, gritty atmosphere is practically made for black and white shots. And to some areas of this interesting city, you definitely shouldn't bring your Leica. In a world that's constantly changing, it can be comforting to keep some things consistent. When you don't know where you'll be working next year, what global conflicts might arise, or how uncertain the future may feel, the last thing you want is to stress over the latest trendy Fuji film recipes. Instead, you can focus on what really matters, the subject in front of your lens, the light in the scene, the character of the person you're photographing, or the mood of the place you're in. Black and white photography strips away the noise and lets you connect with the moment. And the best part, you can keep shooting this way for the next 10 or 20 years, constantly refining your personal style. You might wonder why I don't just shoot in color and decide later whether to convert the photo to black and white. The reason is that the way you compose and build a photo that's meant to be black and white is, I think, different from one where you're still undecided. When I shoot in black and white, I focus on contrast, light and mood, ignoring everything else. That's much easier to do when a preview on my screen is already in black and white. Plus, you can fine-tune the final look of your black and white JPEGs with specific camera settings. When I shoot black and white with my Fuji X-T4, I set the film simulation to black and white with red filter. The red filter boosts contrast and adds depth by brightening reds and darkening other colors. I usually underexpose by 1/3 to 2/3 of a stop. Once I'm back home, I make a few quick adjustments in Lightroom. I lower the shadows slightly and raise the highlights just a bit. I avoid adding extra contrast as it can crush the midtones, which are crucial for compelling, beautiful photos. If there's a striking face in the shot, I'll add a touch of texture to it. That's it. Each edit takes about 3 minutes. By not dealing with color tones, editing black and white JPEGs is so much faster. And if there's ever a shot where I want more flexibility, I still have the raw files as a backup. But honestly, I usually don't need them at all. So what do you think? What do you think about the endless debate between black and white and color in street photography? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.